CPS knocked on my door and told me my son touched his 6-year-old stepsister. The woman from CPS had this practiced sympathy on her face, like she'd delivered this exact nightmare to 100 other families. Behind her stood 2 police officers, their hands resting on their belts. "We've received a serious allegation," she said, holding up her badge. "Your son Caleb has been accused of inappropriate contact with Gigi." My knees almost buckled. There's no way. When is this supposed to have happened? Last Tuesday evening. Gigi disclosed specific details to her teacher during a safety lesson today. She said it happened while you and your wife were at dinner. Tuesday, our anniversary dinner. Caleb had babysat Gigi for 3 hours. My mind was racing, trying to process what she was saying, but nothing made sense. Caleb was 17, heading to college next year. The kid who still watched cartoons with his stepsister on Saturday mornings. "We need to speak with Caleb immediately," the CPS worker continued. "And I'm afraid he'll need to come with us for a 48-hour emergency removal while we investigate." That's when my wife Laura came running down the stairs. She must have heard the commotion. "What's happening? Why are there police here?" The CPS worker repeated everything, and I watched my wife's face transform. She grabbed the doorframe like she might collapse. Then her expression hardened into something I'd never seen before. "Where's Gigi? I need to see Gigi. She's safe at school with a counselor. We'll arrange for you to pick her up shortly." Laura pushed past me and screamed up the stairs. "Caleb, get down here now!" Caleb appeared at the top of the stairs in his pajama pants and an old band t-shirt, his hair sticking up from sleep. He saw the officers and froze. "Dad, what's going on?" The next hour was a blur of horror. The officers searched Caleb's room while he sat on the couch, tears streaming down his face, saying over and over that he didn't understand. Laura wouldn't let him near her, wouldn't even look at him. She kept saying, "Gigi wouldn't lie about this. She wouldn't make this up." The CPS worker interviewed Caleb right there in our living room. He was sobbing so hard he could barely speak. Yes, he'd watched Gigi Tuesday night. They played video games. He made her mac and cheese. She went to bed at 8:30. That was it. That was all. But Gigi had told her teacher details. She said he told her it was a special secret game that she couldn't tell anyone about. The officers cuffed my 17-year-old son in our living room while Laura held herself and rocked back and forth. Caleb looked at me with pure terror in his eyes. "Dad, I swear I didn't touch her. You have to believe me." I wanted to believe him. Every fiber of my being wanted to believe him. But Gigi was 6. Why would a 6-year-old make up something so specific? After they took Caleb away, Laura and I drove separately to pick up Gigi from school. When I saw her in the counselor's office, my heart shattered. She looked so small, wouldn't make eye contact with anyone, kept walking with a limp. The counselor said Gigi had been very brave. That disclosure was an important first step. Laura scooped Gigi into her arms and carried her to the car. I tried to follow, but Laura turned on me. "Don't. I can't even look at you right now. Your son did this. Laura, we don't know. She has bruises. The nurse found bruises on her thighs." Laura's voice broke. "I need to take her to the hospital for an exam. Don't follow us." I stood in that school parking lot for 20 minutes, unable to move. My son was sitting in juvenile detention. My stepdaughter was headed for a assault kit exam. My wife blamed me. How had my family imploded in a single morning? That evening, Laura came home around 9 with Gigi asleep in her arms. She'd been prescribed a mild sedative to help her sleep. Laura carried her upstairs without a word, then came back down with a suitcase. "We're going to my mother's. Laura, please, we need to talk about this." "Talk about what?" "Your son touched my daughter. The exam showed trauma." She gave detailed disclosure. "What is there to talk about? He's saying he didn't do it. Caleb has never lied to me about anything important." Laura laughed, but it was bitter and sharp. "They all say they didn't do it. Every single predator claims innocence." She pulled out her phone and showed me something she'd been researching. "See? Only 2% of children lie about abuse. So either Gigi is in that tiny minority, or your son is exactly what the evidence says he is." She left with Gigi that night. The house felt like a tomb. Something made me remember our nanny cam system. Laura had given investigators our security footage, but there was an old tablet still logged into the cloud backup. Then I found it. 2 weeks before the accusation. Laura sat with Gigi while Caleb was at basketball practice. "Remember what we practiced, sweetie?" Laura's voice was clear on the recording. "When the nice lady asks you, you tell her Caleb touched you here." Gigi's tiny voice responded, "But Caleb didn't do that. It's just pretend. Like when we play house. I ran to the bathroom and threw up. My wife had coached her. That's when I heard the doorbell ring. I know you're in there." It was Laura. Full story on channel. Link below.